Hi, welcome to ThinkWave, the all-encompassing cloud-based platform that allows you to manage your student enrollment, class details, a comprehensive gradebook, create custom reports, and so much more. You can always contact us for questions at support@thinkwave.com. Let's get started. First, at the ThinkWave homepage, on the left-hand side of the page, there's a link for Live Demo. This is a fully filled out demo that will allow you to try out the features of the ThinkWave platform. We will start by walking you through the administrator view, then the teacher view, and finally the student and parent view. ThinkWave is cloud-based, so it can be used on a PC, Mac, iPad, and the iPhone. It's a responsive layout, so changing the size of your browser window or viewing device will adjust the interface so you can use it on any of those devices. When you log in, you can tell what view and school year you're in quickly. From the top left here, it says Administrator 2022 to 2023. When logging in, the first thing you'll see is the dashboard. On the dashboard, you can see a place for administrators and teachers to add messages. An administrator can create messages for either all students in the school or just certain students. Also, you can add attachments. You can see here's an Eagle JPEG. You can also add multiple attachment files to messages or blog posts. And those messages will be mailed out based on the email preferences. On the dashboard, the administrator can access previous years. Also, administrators can have multiple roles. An administrator can see administrator, teacher, student, or parent view. Now let's go to the Students tab. The Students tab is where all the student information is kept. You could upload a photo here. And by clicking on the Settings icon, you can also add any custom field you'd like. Either for all students here, or specific groups of students. You can have a free form field, or you could have a pull-down with choices that you create yourself. There's also the ability to upload files. If you need immunization records or any other files that you would keep for student records, you can put that here. Further, once the student logs in and chooses a username, that appears here, and the parent username is here. Also, the administrator can log in and view what parents or students can see online by clicking Visit Student Account. We'll go over more on that later. You can also adjust the grade levels or put emails for the automatic email notification. You can also see the classes that that student's enrolled in, and the groups that that student is enrolled in. You can also access all of these areas by hovering over the Students tab. The Teachers tab is next. This is where you'd put in all the names of the teachers. You can also put in a photograph or any files associated with that teacher. Teachers, once they log in, will have a personal gradebook that's pre-populated with all the students in their classes. And as an administrator, you can visit the teacher's gradebook by clicking Visit Teacher Gradebook. We'll go over more on that later. And again, you can access any of these features by hovering over the Teachers tab. The next tab is Classes. Classes are similar to courses. They are interchangeable. A couple of things I'd like to bring up is that you can have multiple final grade scales for your school, and you can assign the grade scales by class. So kindergarten classes can have E, S, and U, and other higher level classes can have different grading scales. If a teacher switches classes or leaves in the middle of the semester, you can reassign the gradebook to another teacher easily by selecting another teacher in the drop-down menu. The class scheduling is flexible, so you can have classes meet on different periods during the week. Another important thing to note is the graded skills. So for kindergarten classes or other classes, you can grade a class on multiple parameters. And those also print out on report cards and transcripts. Under the Class tab, there's the final grades and comments. This is the heart of the software in the sense that it collects all the grades and the comments from multiple teachers and combines them together for one unified report. So you can generate a report card or a transcript for each student. There's 3 levels of using this software. First, the teacher can keep all of the assignments in the gradebook, and it calculates the final grade and transfers it to the administrator. Or, a teacher can just enter in the override as a final grade if they don't want to use the gradebook. Or further, the administrator can just put the final grade in the override and also put a comment in the comment block. The comments are long. They can be up to 5,000 characters for both the overall grade and also any graded skills. So you can see here under Biology 1, for example, you can have the grade here and the comment from the teacher. Also, all of the graded skills and comments can go on the transcript. There's also the ability to get credits if a student earns partial credits for a course. Those credits appear on the transcript and are summed together for an overall number of credits. Attendance is a 2-tiered system, where the teacher takes attendance for either one period or multiple periods. And that period mark is then transformed into a day mark, according to the rules that you set in the Setup tab. We'll go over the Setup tab later. So you can set it if a teacher marks a student absent for the first period, they're marked absent for the whole day. An administrator can go in and override that if a student comes in tardy. Or you can set different rules if a student is gone for the majority of the periods or the majority of minutes. Then the day mark is absent or present, or whatever you set up in the setup rules. Next, go to the Reports tab. The report card is one of the reports I'll show you. You could generate the report card either on your own letterhead by designed length of space at the top in inches, or you can upload your own logo to appear at the top left of the report. You can choose the single-term report card or multi-term to include multiple terms. Also, you can change the layout to either portrait or landscape. Change the report title if you want to generate a progress report. Since ThinkWave data is uploaded immediately as teachers enter the grades, you can make a progress report at any time. There's also a lot of customization options available for other areas, so you can include things like attendance or the custom fields I showed you earlier in the Students tab. For example, you can print the value of the semester or school-wide test on the report card as well. Here you can print a legend which appears at the bottom of the report card along with the signature line. Just select a student, a term, then click Generate. Now I'll show you a couple more reports. The transcript report I mentioned earlier contains multiple years of a student's grades. The student ID connects the data year to year, so once you set up the current year, you can roll back the grades to enter historical data. And when you roll the student forward, the information is copied so you can generate a full student transcript at any time. The student transcript also generates as a ready-to-print PDF with your logo and the school address. As you can see, all the years a student has been enrolled is included. It includes the cumulative GPA and the cumulative credits earned. Let's look at another report, the Student Summary Report. Since ThinkWave is always updated with the data from the teachers in your school, an administrator could get a good view of how a student's doing by generating the Student Summary Report. Either by group or by particular student, you could get every single assignment grade that a student has, as well as the grade by assignment type or overall grade that a student has. This is a good report for overall status of a student's progress, or if there's a parent meeting, this report is always available for an administrator to look at. As you can see, the classes, all assignments, and results of the assignments are all shown. The grades by assignment type and how much each assignment type is weighed. So this student, for example, has complete on homework and 99% on math quiz, and all the assignments with all the categories are shown. There are other reports that you can print out in the Reports tab, including login instruction sheets. If you don't want to email out the instructions, you can print them out on paper. There's also a series of attendance reports, class schedule reports, and missing assignment reports. You can print out gradebooks for all the teachers in your school to see the standard grid-based gradebook for all the grades a teacher has given a student. Also down here, you can create custom reports from the ground up, or ask us to customize a report for you. More on that in another video. Now I'll show you some of the setup functionality. There's a Files area, where you can see the files that the teachers have uploaded, and files that you've uploaded as part of assignments or part of the messages that are sent to students and parents. Grade levels can be added or changed. If you use it in college level setting, you can change all the grade levels to be appropriate for your college level. Groups allow you to add custom groups for students. And here you can set the max comment length. And here you can fill out the full school name and address. The administrator has the ability to set final grade scales for school, as I was showing you earlier. You can add multiple grading scales, as you can see here. There's a kindergarten grading scale and a pre-scholar. There's also non-calculated grades that you can assign to class in addition to calculated grades. There's the ability to round grades if you use percentages as a final grade, and the minimum percent that you allow a student to get if they want to gain credits for that class. To edit the grading scale, you simply click on one of the grades. It gives you the ability to change the grade to a number or other grade value you want. You can put in a description. This site is GPA value, honors GPA value, and the minimum percent that's required to achieve that grade. There's other setup options. Graded skills are something you can detach to a class, especially lower level classes such as kindergarten. And those graded skills can be added to report cards and transcripts. The import-export function allows you to import students from a CSV file. And the export options allows you to export attendance by day or attendance by class, export grades, and custom field data. All of these export options work by clicking on the link, and it automatically generates a CSV compatible text file. Year allows you to customize the start and end date of the school year. Terms and subterms are very flexible within ThinkWave. The one thing to remember is that terms appear on the transcript reports and subterms do not. But other than that, you can have overlapping terms. So if your school wants to use one term for lower level students and another term for high schoolers, you can have both term structures in the software and just assign classes to the different term structures. You can have multiple subterms. You can have progress reports and progress periods, and you can print out report cards, and that's an area that's very flexible. You can even change the subterm dates once a semester is started. Periods are very flexible too. You can change the starts and end times of the periods, as well as add your own period for your school. If you have a period that covers the whole day, you can do that. If you have different day schedules, for example, minimum day, you can assign that to different periods through those minimum days. Or you can shorten the periods and remove 5th and 6th periods from the minimum day if you would like. Here you can set the holidays for certain days of the year and acclimate those days from taking attendance. Here, under Attendance, you can edit the current attendance marks, or create a custom attendance mark. The attendance rules I was mentioning here earlier could be set up in the daily calculations, By default, they're set for one teacher mark for a period. That means that if a teacher marks a student absent for one period, that makes the student absent for the whole day. Those could be changed so a student has to be present for a set minimum number of periods to get a day mark. Or you could actually set it to a percentage of periods or a percentage of minutes to get the day mark. Here you can add additional administrators. Click on Add Administrator, and it will give you an invite code to send to the person that you'd like to make an administrator. And here you can lock or unlock a year. If a year is locked, then you'll be unable to modify any of the data within that year. And finally, the rollover function, which allows you to roll over the classes, students, and groups from one year to another, or roll back a year to input historical data. Here you can set all the defaults for all the reports created within the ThinkWave system. Here's the font. Here's where you would select the view options for the header on the reports. And finally, here you can upload your school's logo. It must be in a JPEG format. Here's where you can create custom fields. You can select the name, who it applies to, like all students, teachers, or certain groups. And here, if you want a short text field, long text field, a date field, or a predefined choice. Custom tabs allows you to organize your custom fields. And in Record Values, you can add the values in the custom fields directly. Online access is where you can invite teachers, students, and parents to access the integrated gradebook and information. You can put their email and either print the invitation or email them directly. There's also a way to email everyone at one time. The teachers, parents, and students get an email with a link and an embedded code. They just click on the link and create a username and password. And then they go to thinkwave.com and on the top right, click the login button to log in. So everyone has their own view of only their data. I'll show you the teacher, student, and parent view in a few minutes. You can also customize the invite message here. Settings controls who has online access for the current year. You can also disable mailings. Add your school's blog right here, and here you can set the default logout URL. So when a student, teacher, or parent is visiting your school's ThinkWave portal, and then they log out, you can send them right back to your school's website. There's the ability to embargo final grades. If you want final grades to show up after a certain date, you can put that date here. Now I'll show you the teacher gradebook and the gradebook view. An administrator can access the teacher's gradebook by going to the Teachers tab, then by clicking Visit Teacher Gradebook. Teachers, of course, have access to the gradebook and only their gradebook through their login at thinkwave.com by clicking the top right. But administrators can get access to the teacher's gradebook this way. The teachers have the ability to create messages for all the students they teach and all the classes they have under their purview, as well as upload attachments, syllabuses, or any general handouts as part of the general messages. From here, the teacher has shortcuts to messages, students in their classes, their gradebook, and linked accounts. By clicking on the Students tab, a teacher can see all the details on all the students in their classes. And clicking the Gradebook tab brings you to the full Teacher's Gradebook. Teachers have a full gradebook functionality, so once they log in, all the students and classes are pre-populated. So to create an assignment, the teachers click Add Assignment. Here is where they have the name of the assignment, the type, the date, and the type of grade that's given. ThinkWave allows teachers to have very flexible grading options, so they can create their custom grade scales as well. They can mix points, percents, and a sort of custom grade scale. There's also the ability to attach a file to allow students to turn in assignments online, so that when a student logs in, there's a link that appears that allows them to send the assignments back to the teacher so that they could save paper. And there's the ability to create a description and add a web link. That shows for students and parents when they log in. The gradebook screen has multiple ways to enter grades. There's the standard grid type gradebook view, where teachers can type grades directly into the grid, or select a letter if it's a discrete grade like an A or a B. There's also by assignment view, where the teacher can put in a more detailed comments on each assignment, like give feedback for the students. There's also a place where the turned in assignments from students appear in the right column here. The Final Grades by Class tab is where the teachers could see the calculated percent and how that's converted into school-wide scale. In the override, they can either enter a different percent or they can actually enter the override grade. Those, once they're saved, convert into the final grade and go on the report card. The area on the right here is where the teachers can put comments that appears on both the student and parent web views as well as the report card. And those comments can be up to 5,000 characters by default, and that can be changed in the administrator view. The attendance screen from the teacher gradebook is for the teachers to take attendance for that designated period. Just mark a student absent or tardy. They don't have to mark any student if they are present. The system will automatically assume the student is present. They can put a comment in the minutes, and that goes immediately to the administrator. So that quickly establishes the attendance at the beginning of the school day. The teachers have a series of reports. Here, there's class detail. Just select a class, a term, then click Generate. And here's the gradebook report. It will print out like a standard grid-based gradebook. Class enrollment allows teachers a quick overview of who's enrolled in the class. And weekly attendance will give the teacher a quick report on the attendance for that week. A teacher can also print out a missing assignment report, as well as a student summary report. And all of these reports will generate as ready-to-print PDFs. In the Setup tab, ThinkWave allows teachers to have a lot of flexibility in how they create their assignment types, and how they create their grading options. Here, they can select their default grading options. The grading option allows them to set grading options as a default for classes in their gradebook. Or they could drill down to a specific class and override those defaults by specific term or subterm. Also, the term grade could be derived from a percentage of subterm grades, and those are calculated automatically. They could use assignment type weighting, where homework, projects, quizzes, and tests are a certain percent of the grade. And here they can choose assignment type for use in their classes. And here they can copy assignments from other years or other classes to their current classes. Now let's return to the administrator view by clicking Return from Visit at the top. This will bring you back to the administrator access. Now let's go back and take a look at the student-parent view. In similar fashion, the administrator can visit a student or parent account by clicking Visit Student Account here. That will bring you to see what a student sees when they log in. When students log in, they see all the messages from their administrators and their teachers. They can download any attachments or syllabuses that are available within the messages. And here they can see upcoming assignments that are due in the next couple of days. From the dashboard, a student can quickly access messages, assignments, attendance, grades, and account settings. When a student needs detail about their assignments, they can get a detailed list by date, either with all the sections or specific class only. The upload link, where students can turn in assignments online, is right here. So a student can click on the link and upload their assignments to turn into the teacher. The teachers can also attach files for their assignments, so that a student can download them and work on them from home or at school. By clicking on the Attendance tab, a student can see all the absences and tardies they may have. By clicking on the drop-down menu, they can see any comments that a teacher may have recorded regarding their tardy or absence. The final grades for each of the classes and terms are available here, as well as graded skills and comments. As I showed earlier, these are how the grades can be embargoed by administrator, or they can be shown at any time as the term progresses. The parent view is similar to the student view. The parents just don't have the ability to upload assignments back to the teachers, but they get the latest messages and the recent results when they log in. Parents and students can also click on accounts, and they can adjust which days they receive emails or send email updates for every day of the week. Let's go back to the administrator view. So this is an overview of the cloud-based ThinkWave school admin system. If you have any questions, please contact us. There's also the ability to start a 30-day trial, which has full functionality. If you would like to request a setup, training session, or a demo, please contact us as well at support@thinkwave.com. Thanks for watching.